Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we are going to talk about the markets today, and it's going to be very interesting. I will tell you what I am going to do today. Obviously, you have seen on the thumbnail that I asked buy with a question mark. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about. Is it time to buy? Is it time to sell? Is it time to increase? Is it time to hold on? All of that we're going to discuss right after the intro. Good morning, every one of you. I hope you are doing fine. We have Sven here. Good morning. Jordan is also up early or late, or I don't know. Yeah, late for you in Australia probably. Should be still the late evening, right? And season 3 OG is also here, back for another live stream. So good morning to all of you and everyone that is tuning in. Make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, tick the little bell to always get notified whenever I start one of those live streams. And let's get right into that without much stuff here. Season 3 OG didn't say anything. That was the wrong line. Paul Lizzie, hey, it's 2 a.m. in CA, Canada. I watch this in the morning. Okay, so that's in the morning. Is that already time for coffee? I don't know. R3A is here again, liked. Thank you very much for that. And Trucking Hank is also here. Good morning. So, a lot of people tuning in. Awesome stuff. Let's go right into it. And we are going to start with good old Jerome Powell, because after on Tuesday getting CPI numbers right on expectation, we're getting a relatively dovish sounding Jerome Powell right now. So let's quickly look what has been said yesterday. I think it's fairly easy to see or outline what is going on. Oh, a lot of more messages before we really start. G-Money bringing us the coffee. Sven, 7:53 a.m. Belgium. That's exactly my time. It's 7:53 here as well. Almost 6 p.m. here, dinner time. Oh my god. Okay, Australia living on another planet, for me at least. Felipe, good morning. Jordan says, I'm a little more bullish on Omi today. I was Fat Master yesterday. Okay, welcome back to your normal theme. So let's see. Fed doesn't need a recession. This is big, right? Fed doesn't need a recession to cut rates, Powell says. So rate cuts are in the mix already, right? It could just be a sign that the economy is normalizing and doesn't need a tight policy, he said. Overall, they seem to be in tune with economic realities, which is encouraging as we enter a new chapter of the Fed reaction function. We will see if they're in tune, but let's see here more. Overall, regarding the labor market, right? Overall, the development of the labor market has been very positive. It's been a good time for workers to find jobs and get solid increases. Federal Reserve Jerome Powell said that during the conference. You see job still strong, the job growth still strong, but moving back down to more sustainable levels given population growth and labor force participation. Era of this frantic labor shortage is behind us, so they have sufficiently weakened the labor market as they wanted. And then we see here also rate cuts will be a topic of discussion going forward from now. So the question of when will it be becomes appropriate to begin dialing back the amount of policy restraint in place that begins to come into view and is clearly a discussion topic of discussion out in the world, and also of discussion for us at our meeting reading today. So I would say there's a general expectation that this will be a topic for us to looking ahead. So rates back on the table, labor market looking okay for the Fed. Overall, it sounds way more dovish, and so is what the market sees, right? Let me quickly pull this up here because it fits directly the topic. So this is the current view on the market for rate hikes. I don't know if this can be made any bigger. Yeah, it can. Okay, so let's do it like this. So we see here, this is where we are right now with the rates, yeah? 525 to 550, that's where we are right now. There was a 99.5 or so chance for rates to stay the same. So if we are in this line with a high chance, that means that people think that at this date we are staying at this. But you see already at the end of January, next meeting, there is a almost 10% chance for a cut down by 25 basis points. I don't think it will happen. We see here the highest value highlighted. But then in the middle of March, just around where we are with closer to the halving, right? We have a 56%, so higher chance to a rate cut than staying at the same rate, right? And then you see here that, basically we see them dropping. So the market expecting a drop of more than 1 to 1.5 entire percentage to drop, so 150 basis points drop over the time, and that means a huge amount of liquidity, right? So you see here at June, the market is saying we're somewhere between 450 and 500, and almost 0% chance from July that we will not have seen a rate cut. So that's what you see here. And I think that's interesting because it lines up exactly with what Fed Chair Powell said. I think there will be no more new hikes, and I think there will be the rate cutting around this area of June. Yeah, I think that maybe this is a little bit too optimistic, but and we need to keep in mind that that also means that if this happens very early, that there's usually an event for rate cutting. So something that breaks that they say, hey, look, we're cutting rates. Otherwise they would hold them like this, or the labor market is going too soft, right? Otherwise they would hold it like this just to get back to this 2% inflation. And then there is another big thing for Bitcoin, and especially also for the companies, and that is this here. Bitcoin to be recorded at fair value under new FASB rules issued today. Why is this big? Because previously companies could only value their Bitcoin at the lowest price since they bought it, which meant they would have to report record losses but not the gains when the price recovered. So let's say a Tesla or whatever other company like a MicroStrategy or other stock listed companies buy Bitcoin at 50,000 and then it drops to 25,000, so 50% drawdown, and it goes back up to 100,000. Then they would have to record, so they bought 1 billion of this, right? They would have to record a 500 million loss in their books, although they made 2 billion out of it. So in reality, they have 2 billion in their in their balance, but they had to report a 50% loss. Now that is different. Now they can record at fair value, which is important, right? Because it also shows that regulators have, in that sense, have seen that institutions need a means to report their cryptos at the correct level. So that is big. Then before we are answering the question what to do right now, we need to see a little bit more things. The SEC has delayed in Invesco's spot Ethereum ETF, not the Bitcoin ETF, but Ethereum ETF. So also this is going on. So there's no straight up denying. They have postponed it, probably up for modifications and comments right now. So yeah, that is also good. And then finally, we could be seeing as a final headline here. By the way, this AI stuff is getting out of hand. I mean, Argentina's president doesn't look really like this, right? So what's happening? Argentina devalues peso by 50%, and crypto offers a way out. So recently they have elected a new president, a libertarian that really doesn't like, or seems to not like, government interference into the life of the citizens and so on. So we will see how this president acts. But yeah, the peso's value has been reduced from 400 to 800 pesos per US dollar, which Economy Minister Luis Caputo will initially worsen the country's economic situation. Okay, yeah, so will we have another country that adopts Bitcoin? That is the big question, which we also probably would only see around the next year or so. But really, if they want to embrace the Bitcoin, then they have to act now, right? But it could be just one more unexpected driver, because I mean, if a country like Argentina says, "Hey, look, we are putting Bitcoin into our balance sheet," and maybe make it even something that we have a governmental wallet for everyone to hold and get airdropped some Bitcoin or so. Who knows, right? In exchange for their pesos. That could be happening. If I was working in Argentina, I would demand my job to pay me in Bitcoin directly, right? So that I don't lose anything in this hyperinflated scenario. Okay. But let's look at what is happening right now. So the DAO. Why is this looking so weird? That is not what I wanted. I wanted the Dow Jones. Okay. Dow Jones Industrial Average. So the Dow has put in a new all-time high. Yeah, and this is important because if we're looking at let's look at the monthly quickly. So if you look at the monthly for the Dow, you see here how these crashes and crises look, right? And yeah, you see that really what we had right now was not like the biggest of all crashes and crises, but it was announced to be one of the biggest of them all. Okay. Us having a new all-time high means that we're probably very likely going to continue with this new quantitative easing, into price discovery once again, like it always has been in the history of the Dow, right? I mean, there were phases where you experience something like this, and there were big crises like the subprime crisis in the USA, but overall, even that was solved in a sense by money printing at some point. So money printer goes on, and then you have a huge run up. Okay, and that is important because the crash profits told us here that that this is the end, right? That this is the bubble pop scenario where the entire thing goes to shit, and it's just not that, right? It was compared to 1929 situations. Where I said many times that if you compare a chart to 1929, but not the conditions under which people are living at the moment, then you cannot talk about mega crashes back to the Dow to 1,000 points and so on, right? So that's just unreasonable. Instead, you can also argue that the chart looked like a bubble pop. And at every new correction, right? And every time, basically, yeah, people are coming. This is the 29 crash. So this was the most brutal crash that this had ever seen, right? And since then, every other crash was a joke compared. I mean, this one here in 2007 was really big, right? But not every recession is big. So enough with the Dow. What I want to say with this all is that we are expecting a overall further upside, yeah? And to make it round, we have a bullish cross on the TSI. Okay, so I think there will be years of upside right now. Good. So that is one thing. Now for Bitcoin, I want to pull Bitcoin up next. For Bitcoin, we see that we have also pumped, but am I going to buy this right now because I think that the correction is over? No, because in my opinion, until proven otherwise, first of all, this can easily turn out to be something like this, where we get excited and go, and excited and go, right? So really something where we correct for a longer time in down in waves, and we really need to cool off for the next big run, in my opinion. That doesn't mean that we cannot do another leg up and then correct from there. Everything can happen in this bull, and please don't take this as financial advice or so. Let me just share my thoughts of what I'm going to do. So the first premise here is I have a bag of Bitcoin, yeah, enough for me personally, enough, and I have a bag of altcoins also personally enough for me, right? And for me to just allocate my dry powder right now is not really worth it. So what I want to see is that I have maybe a correction, and it doesn't have to go all the way down, right? But at least I want to see this CME gap target hit at 39,800 or something, to start making a move. Maybe even more correction, we will see. So I will continue to pile up a little bit of dry powder, a little bit of cash, in case that this drawdown happens. Yeah, if we fail to put in a higher high here, then we for sure will have more downside. And really, there is not really much where you could argue, oh yeah, we found critical support here, now we are going to continue, okay? So the first part for me would be to reach this target still of the CME gap. I showed it to you before. It's based on this CME gap for everyone that hasn't seen this yet. And we see here really that it reached down to it, but it didn't close the CME gap. Yeah, it didn't close. So I would want to see that coming down to close the CME gap. It doesn't have to happen. Not every CME gap ever is closed, but 80% of them is closed. So that is definitely a point. Now, what is more important to me though is that our series of 8 green weekly candles we have now the first red candle. This doesn't mean that we cannot turn this into the next almost 4 days, 3 days into a green candle. We can, but what we didn't see is, since we broke our biggest overhead resistance of all times, yeah, this one here that was previous bull market support, we did not come back to retest it, yeah. And usually, so for example here, when we came through this, we retested it. We even came back down from our real Bitcoin top to retest that. It was then when we broke to the downside, immediately retested as overhead resistance, and then here tested twice as overhead resistance. And what you also have to see is here, for example, we have here resistance, yeah, in the bear market, in the very deep bear market. We crashed, and then we came up, tested, and when we broke it, and this is now important, we broke this resistance. TradingView is getting me crazy here. Thanks for that, TradingView. Let me just get this back here. Okay, so We don't need the monthly, we want the weekly. So again, we have this resistance, we break it and we tested it, right? And then we have another resistance here. So we found support here, and then we broke this, but we didn't retest. And there is no reason why we shouldn't, yeah? I mean, obviously, not. We could just skyrocket to 100,000 and never come back. But if we start to form red weekly candles here, we could at least retest this trend line, yeah, if it takes longer. This would be, if we would drop down to 32K or so, it would be in January, if this would look like, or February, if this would trickle down like this, right? And maybe coincide with this here. Find a new support before we fly off. It's a possibility. It doesn't have to happen this way. Yeah, this is not. Nothing of this is guaranteed. I mean, we have still our upside target for 46,000. Now the question is what we hit first. Do we go to this first, or do we go to retest first and then go and fly off? We don't know. But for me, this is so overheated, and I think it's due a bigger correction, and this is not a bigger correction in my opinion. Yeah, pullbacks in a bull run are shallow, but you see here we have hit an RSI of 83,000, almost 84,000, 84, sorry. And now that for me, usually there is at some point a bigger correction once you hit that, right? So in the pre-bull, we also hit last year, we also hit this, and then it was an RSI of only 80, so we are 3-4 beyond that. And then when we hit that, we got a 55% drawdown. Yeah, I'm only measuring this pre-bull to this. And if you want to take this one here, if you say, okay, we are so close to I mean, this was post-halving, yeah? But if you want to take this one here, there was even a 20% pullback. We had seen an 8-9% pullback at the maximum here. This is the C crisis crash. I don't calculate that one in. But even if you say, oh, we have an ETF, let's not go that hard, there is a 40% pullback. So I'm really looking at something that looks like this over time, yeah? A slow pullback, 20 or 30%. It may never come, but if it comes, that will be when I allocate more money, right? Excuse me, guys. That is necessary for coffee. I don't see how we are going to just fly off before the halving like this without this pullback, or without a pullback like this. I mean, even the pullbacks in the mid of the run were like almost 20%. This is a 17% pullback here, and this one here above is a 30% pullback. So at some point there will be this pullback, right? And altcoins will react really, really hard to this, in my opinion. Yeah, that is that. And then maybe also coinciding with this is that we have this on the weekly, we have this bounce, yeah. But money has been allocated once again to the market. So this is the USDT dominance, tether dominance over the market. We had found support here and bounced, and the question is now, with this pullback, probably we are going to see more upside. If we don't see that, and if we lose this support here on the USDT, then we are going to get the huge rally. Yeah, that would be then certain. But that plays a little bit together. But we could form a higher high here and something like put a mirror on what's going on here in this Bitcoin chart. Good afternoon. Review of chart of Solana. Hey, this is not the altcoin stream. So we are going to do that on the weekend. So for everyone who doesn't know it, every weekend now, since we have already done 2, we are going to do a portfolio stream. And the portfolio stream, we are going to look at altcoins. Altcoin picks that you guys want, altcoin picks that I bring, altcoin news, right? Everything around altcoins, and we're building together a portfolio where we DCA $50 into just for fun to show what's possible with a $50 weekly DCA, and we will show that during the bull run. And we are going to build a portfolio of the most degenerate 100x picks. So that is going to happen every weekend. Last week we did it on Sunday. Probably we're going to do it again on Sunday evening. No Solana and XRP chart today. Sorry for that. But we are going to do Solana and XRP on the weekend portfolio stream. Should be good, right? And by the way, the problem is maybe what it's on probably on Sunday evening. Yeah, Sunday evening for me. So it is around 9 p.m. Central European time, more or less. But I can quickly comment on Solana and XRP in any way, and that is because you have to look at the market cap, right? So let's pick one of these tabs here. So let's go to live coin watch. I mean, so Solana has where's the market here? A 30 billion market cap. Now I ask you after that on XRP, right? You have the number 5. You're asking about number 5 and 6. I ask you if a coin that has a $30 billion market cap is going to give you the chance for a 20 or 30x, yeah? That would be a $600 billion market cap. That is like a tripled or 2.5x Ethereum, yeah? That would be a 20x. Now the question is, what is easier to 20x? A coin from here, from the 1 billion things, right? Like the graph or so, yeah? Or even from the top 100s? Or is it a Solana that has already gone up from $7 to $70, already did a 10x? Yeah, 600. So it would be a $600 billion market cap if you get a 20x. It has a $30 billion market cap, right? You need huge amounts of liquidity to make that move. I don't say it can't happen, but if Solana does a 20x, imagine what a coin that is only a 30th of the size does, like a render, right? Or I don't know, like the graph, yeah. So why other YouTubers say XRP and Solana will go 50 to 100x? Because they are irresponsible. Yeah, it's like saying, Bitcoin will make you a millionaire if you put in $1,000. You have any idea how long Bitcoin has to go to make you a millionaire from here? Bitcoin is almost sitting at 1 trillion. I mean, yes, sure, it can happen. If we get hyperinflation, then we are going to be a millionaire, right, in US dollars. If we have a hyperinflation and the bread also costs, I don't know, like $50,000 at the store. I'm not saying that you cannot do very well with this, but if you have small money and big dreams, right, then Solana from here, I mean, look, since we're already talking about it, why not? I think some people really get okay, so let's pull it up, because I think there's really, sometimes I forget, but there's really something. Let's pull it up on Coinbase, right? Okay, let's see. Oh, TradingView must be used quite a bit, so it's very, very slow. Let's see if it loads. Okay, let's refresh here. Let's refresh and get to Solana. Okay. Okay. So Solana looks like this, right? It has pumped quite significantly on the daily. We see it. Here's Solana's previous all-time high at $260. Okay. So if Solana goes to $260, it does a 2.5x. A 2.5x on the market cap is over 100 billion. Yeah. That can for sure happen, but the question is, will it change your life if you buy Solana here and you get a so let's say you put in $1,000 and you get a 2.5x. So you have $2,500 now. Does that change your life? I would say it's a different story if Solana corrects back down to these levels and you go in here, yeah? Because then you basically would have, yeah, from here, if you buy at these levels, you are already looking at a 12x, yeah? That is something else. But that ship has already sailed, unless we are getting a huge correction, right? On the altcoins. I mean, a 50 or more, I mean, buying Solana at, if this is the all-time high, you expect Solana going back to the all-time high, you want to buy Solana at least at $26 or something like that. Exactly, pick a new layer one, yeah? So there's so many, and this is something you really have to see, right? There's so many YouTubers out there that go like, oh, Solana 100x. No one will remember that and go back and say, you said it's a Solana 100x after 1.5 years, right? If that breaks the all-time high, even like goes 5x, they will, you got a 5x out of this. What do you even want, right? No one will say that ever. On the other hand, it gives a ton of clicks, right? So you can go and make of every popular coin that a lot of people have hopium in, you can make videos, say it goes 100, it's going to go 100x, and you will have a shit ton of clicks, and that gives you ad revenue, right? A lot, if you're a bigger YouTuber. Everyone Solana. Solana's the narrative, so making a 100x Solana video will give you a lot of clicks. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen just because someone says it. Yeah, if I say this is, if I say this stuff, this is my opinion, right? I mean, you could come in 1.5 years and say, oh, Patient Hodler said that I wouldn't make 100x, so here's 100x, right? Here's a price target for 100x. You have to sell Solana from here for 100x at $7,408. That's 100x from where we are. Yeah. So ask yourself that if 100x from right now in market cap would be a 10x would be 300 billion, but 3 trillion, 100x, I don't see any of the top 100 do a 100x from where we are. Not even mega super duper good projects like Render and the Graph, yeah. There will be in the end people that have 100x gains, but they bought these coins, Render, the Graph, at sub 100 million. So they are already up 15x from where they bought. They are already up 15x. For them to do 150x, they only needed to go 10x from here, which would be a $15 billion market cap, yeah. So this is how it works. So if you, in my opinion, if you want to have 20, 30, no, let's say if you want to have like 50, 60 million dollar, 50, 60x on a coin, you have to search in the ranks of, let's say on page, how many pages do we have to go back? You have to search in ranks, good projects, you have to find good projects, at least somewhere below 100 million, right? So that it can do a 20x or 30x, you need to be somewhere behind 100 million, I think. I mean, the entire market is going to grow by probably a couple of trillion overall market cap, which you would say. So if we go to the total 3, you see the market cap of altcoins right now. We're sitting at 461 billion overall altcoin market cap, yeah? So that means also that Solana is already taking up a big part of the entire market cap of altcoins. You have to see that. Solana has around 7% of that market cap, right? It's a big dominance. Okay. So let's say we're going back first to all-time highs, yeah? So that is 1.1 trillion. That's a roughly 2.5x on the market cap, on the overall market cap. So that would mean that all altcoins are more or less 2.5xing if that happens. But not all altcoins are going to move in the same way. So some are going to move slower and others are going to move way faster. So let's say we're going to absolutely wreck, absolutely behave like the last run. So we would be somewhere here right now. We would have, by the way, here also we had this pullback that I'm talking about, right? So we have this move up is roughly an 8x out of the altcoin market. So let's say all altcoins are going to do an 8x from here. Or let's say diminishing a little bit because it's harder to move this market cap. Let's say we're going to go to 3.3 trillion dollars in the market cap, yeah. That's still a 7x from here. So that means that for the bigger coins, you can estimate if they are a little bit better a 10x, yeah. So that's I would give at the maximum a 10x for the Solanas and XRPs of this world. At the absolute maximum. I don't even think that they will see more than that. A 10x. Yeah. Where should all the money come from to make a BTC 20x? Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument that when spot Bitcoin ETFs are rolled out and you capture a big part of the world's wealth, you would have a lot of inflow. But I saw recently that Bitcoin, if it gets 1% of the world's ETF allocations, yeah, instead of the normal ETFs that people put 1% of what they have in normal ETFs into Bitcoin, which is realistic in the beginning, then you would be getting like 100 billion or so of US dollars. 100 extra billions. That is not going to move the needle too much on an $800 billion market cap. Yeah, that's a roughly 20% increase on Bitcoin. Okay, obviously they are going to print money. They are going to inflate the economy in the next 2 years. So there is money coming into the market that will go where a bit will flow into Bitcoin. But for Bitcoin, let's say we have our bull target at 135,000, right? That's conservative. And you have to see from a narrative standpoint that from everywhere, every time we go up in altcoins and Bitcoin and everything else, people will adjust the targets. So for example, you have an altcoin that sits, whatever altcoin, sits at 10 cents, right? And then every YouTuber will put out from the 10 cents a target of $1. But then it goes to 2 cents in a to 20 cents in a rally, and every YouTuber will readjust the target to the $2 target. And will still make it a 10x after it already doubled, instead of sticking to the target. And that is what will get people wrecked in the end, once again, especially the new ones. Because they will look at this chart and they will say, I am in, look at this shitcoin here, just joking, but I am in Omi, right? Okay, so oh yeah, the price target is 1 cent, let's say, or back to all-time high, 1.3 cents. Now it goes to 0.002, and they will say, oh, it can go easily to 2 cents. And then it goes to 0.005, and they're like, oh yeah, 5 cents is realistic, right? And then it goes back to the all-time high, and every YouTuber will be, I think it can go to 10 cents. They will always go like 10x from where we are right now, but there will be eventually the top, and they're still calling for another 10x, right? Not realizing that at 1.3 cents, we have already, that at 1.3 cents, we have already like 20x or so from the bottom, yeah. Is that true? 000, yeah, let's say 01, yeah, one more zero is a 10x to, yeah, to 1 cent would be a 10x from 001, and then 5 cents would be a 50x, right? That would put us already at, so a 10x would put us at a $2 billion market cap, yeah, right now, and then a 10x or 7-8x out of the market. So yeah, that's something where you could say, okay, oh, Ecomi in terms of the market caps, that's somewhere in the range, yeah, between all-time high, hitting close to all-time high again, and going beyond, if it has news, right? But you will see, I promise you that, you will see the people that call for a 10 cent from all-time high to a 20 cent from all-time high. You will see everything, depending on where we are in the cycle. So it's better, in my opinion, to stick to looking where we are in the cycle. So we have a huge run in front of us. We want to capitalize on a pullback. In my opinion, yeah, we want to capitalize on a pullback with a lot of dry powder, and then we want to lean back and sit back, be in our bags, and then at some point gradually start taking profits. Yeah, waiting for altcoin season. We want to be in this comfortable position where we say our bags are packed, and maybe we can then pivot to something like taking part in token ICOs and throw them into the market with a big gain, right? Something like that. But for now, I think close eyes on the market for pullback, and then buy some altcoins at discount, yeah, from paper hands. Okay. R3A says, hey, I have $10,000. If I want this portfolio to rise much, how much should I invest in an altcoin below 100 million? That only you can decide that, man. I mean, so first of all, you need to decide how much risk you can take and how strong you are. If, for example, let's say you take out 10% of that, $1,000, and you put it into an altcoin. Like, let's say you put it into really low cap, something like Vechain, right, where I made a video about. Let's just assume. That's not I'm saying, or not me saying that you should do that. That's completely on you. Or Veracity with a $80 million market cap, right? Something like that. And this thing goes 50% down in a pullback. Let's say this thing goes like 55% down, and you're looking at the $1,000 and it's only worth $450 at that moment. Can you stomach that? That's the first question that you have to ask yourself. Can you stomach this nasty leg-breaking pullback? The second part is, will you be strong enough to put throw another 1,000 on it if that happens, right? So, or are you strong enough to sit on the sideline and wait for an entry like this? Because I think that we are not at the, I mean, we are, if we look at the cycle, let's put it that way. I try to choose, you see that, by the way, we have 45 people here. Smash up the like button as crazy if you enjoy these streams, right? But I want to phrase my words right, because I really do not want to get anyone wrecked here on this. Why is my Bitcoin chart not 100% loaded? Let's do this again. There must be more of Bitcoin. Where's the rest of the chart? Oh, that is total 3. That is not. No, it is not. That's Bitcoin. There we go. I just thought for a second that it's total 3 because of my lines. Okay, so I want to choose my words very carefully here because I really don't want to get you wrecked, right? And you decide. But in general, this time before we go is not a bad time at all. And if you are completely on the sidelines, that's not good at all at any point here, because you see we are somewhere around here or here, or maybe, yeah, actually maybe we are here, right? And maybe we are here, and now we are here. Okay, so every time this happens, we get a massive run up afterwards, right? You see here the run ups, and here is your next run up. I think that is also not guaranteed, but that is something. So everywhere where you are right now in this point, huge gains were afterwards, huge gains. The only thing is that also you don't know exactly where you are in this circle if you have another of these 40% pullbacks that I'm talking about, right? So, okay, so you have the $10,000 right now. You have to ask yourself, what do I want to achieve with those $10,000? Do I want to make those $10,000 in a solid 100,000? Or do you have the necessity to become a millionaire with these $10,000 right now? Or what is your personal goal? Or do you just want to make $25,000, right? So that is the big question. And depending on that, you can go on the market cap scale of the coins that you're investing in from very risky to not so much risk. But you have to imagine also, for example, Terra Luna. Terra Luna was a high market cap. It was a top 20 coin, I think, in the end. And yet it imploded completely and all money got wiped out. All money. So there is really no big risk difference between a top 20 coin and a top 200 coin, like between 100 and 200. There is not much difference. If you research the project, you know the founders, you see the price model and everything, there is still this risk of total loss in this coin. So what you definitely do not want to do is throw it all at one specific coin. If you say, hey, in the end of that bull market, if I walk away with $30,000 and I'm fine, hey, then go ahead or I'm not saying go ahead or something like that sounds like do this, right? But then you could say, okay, I'm fine. I just buy a big bag of Ethereum and I have that 5x or so. Ethereum going to $10,000 to $15,000. And I sell it all and I'm really good with that, right? If that's your goal, fine. If not, and you have to search in the lower ranks, yeah? I want an average of 20 to 30% growth. What? 20 to 30x or percent? Because if you want 20 to 30% growth, then you just wait, then you just could throw it all in Bitcoin. You would be very risk averse and you would still get your 20 to 30% out in a matter of a couple of days, right? 20 to 30% growth. I mean, that's like Bitcoin goes to 51,000 and you have your 30% growth, no 20% growth. Bitcoin goes to 60,000 or so, you have your 30%, right? So if your goal is only that, hey, please, I mean, you can live very comfortably DCAing into Bitcoin on a pullback, and you will still probably get your double your money, right? That cannot be that can for sure be the goal, but that you can achieve without risking it in degenerate altcoin picks, right? So we see R3A says I put 4K, 1K Gari token, 1K OVR, 1K Ultra, 1K Celestia, Rest all in top 10 crypto token in Solana and XRP. I want an average of 20 to 30%. Okay, so not percent. So 20 to 30x. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, you have 50% in low caps as it seems. So then, yeah, fine. That low cap back can easily. I mean, I don't know all of these projects, but if they're a good project, that can easily 20, 30x that part. What will not 20 to 30x will be the top 10 coins, not all of them at least. And it's very hard, as I have shown in the market cap, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. We're running a little bit late on time here, so I will spare you the OMI part for most of the part. I mean, we are green for OMI, we are 0007. That's fine. It's not like the super big move, but it is what it is, right? I mean, there's not much to comment here on Ecomi. We are still waiting for Crypto XR. We are still waiting for something good out of OMI. And we will see if OMI is going to continue to stay in this range, or if we finally have this going up, right? Irene's F said Australia. Yeah, welcome. Parsival says, what do you think of Kusama? I'm not too familiar with Kusama, but we can take it into the altcoin stream on Sunday. So make sure you guys tune in to the altcoin stream. Adrian says, dude, if everyone knew which project will make 30x, I guess everyone would be in. No, that's actually not right. So it's actually not. You have to see one thing. Retail is completely out of crypto at the moment. Some people are noticing right now that something is happening, but still, no one in the retail world out of our bubble is talking about crypto at all. No one. And Bitcoin is sitting at 40,000, is almost up 3x from the bottom. So these people are they are completely out of crypto at the moment. They will come into crypto when retail news is reporting about Bitcoin ETF and Bitcoin smashing through all-time high, and then they're like, I tell you exactly what they're going to put into Google. Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? And then they will go to all of the degenerate YouTubers that are saying that it's absolutely not too late to buy Bitcoin at 70,000. And then they are going to start building Bitcoin, and then they will find out about Ethereum, and then they will then they see that people are made 10, 20, and 30 and 100x gains on altcoins, and then they are going to buy some altcoins at that level when, I don't know, Ecomi sits at 1 cent and Vechain sits at 20 cents or so, right? Just below all-time high and so on, and everyone's talking about the $1 targets of these small coins, and then they're really going to fill up their bags with altcoins. That's what's going to happen. And then all of these people that are going in right now, yes, they will cash out on their 30x. Yeah, I mean, for example, I am up 660% on render. Yeah, not with a big bag, but you just have to let that sink in. So if render 10x's, right? Everyone that bought into that would be up at 6,000%, would be at the 60x. Yeah, if render 10x is from here. So you have to just let that sink in, and then everyone that bought into render right now would be up 10x, right? And then people buy into that because they think it can run again, because they know, oh, this coin is running and running and running, and everyone talking about this. But that's where you're early and you sell, right? So we will see. We will do this together, guys. We will do this together. But the time is not now. Nirujan says, hi from Canada, 2:40 a.m. I got 50 million OMI for 00063 OMI to the moon. So here you have it, right? The guy bought everything at 6.3. That was here, down here. So he was up 25% in an instance, right? Nice. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Good morning, Mr. Hodler. In German, thank you very much. Duck and cover. Great to see you. So yeah, that is what we are sitting at right now. I want to show you quickly something from. Yeah, first of all, this, because you know this, some know this from my channel. I showed this sometimes. This is what the whales are going to do on a pullback. All the people that suddenly get scared, they will be, yeah. Right? I mean, just now the whales wiped out so many people on their positions, and they're just wait. They're patiently waiting for people to sell off their stuff in the pullback, and then they get it all at once, and then they will be ready with their bags for the bull run to dump on everyone. Yeah. So you really have to see this. If you are in crypto, it's about, you are early right now, you get everyone's coins, you got them in the bear market, and you're now waiting for the rally to dump on everyone else, take their money, right? That's basically the game. It is what it is. That's really sad that it sounds like a bubble. You sell to the next person entering. Anyway, I got it. Yeah, I hear that every time when people say it's a Ponzi and I don't know what, and it sounds like a bubble. But first of all, it is what it is. And secondly, we saw the Dow Jones in the beginning of the stream, right? And you could also say that stock market is a bubble. I mean, people are getting into stock of a good company, they ride it for some time, and then they sell it to the next one that has expectancy of increase, right? So it's really nothing. It's with everything, it is like that. You have a house, someone buys it, rents it, and at some point they sell it to the next one with gain. A house, an apartment, yeah, gold, stocks. Everyone wants to make money off of it, right? But let's say you bought Bitcoin at 10 cents and you sold it to someone at $1. You did the same thing, but that guy that bought it on $1 writes it up to $100, sold it to the next person, and that person wrote it up to $1,000, and this bubble just didn't burst because, to be quite honest, there is more gains expected. But yes. Yeah, Mark D says it's called a Ponzi, but it is but everything is a Ponzi if you see it like that, right? Duck and Cover says I had 2 positions liquidated this week. Yeah, that's what they do, right? Are you going for the DC comic drop on Candy, FA Aquaman? I don't go for DC comics. I'm okay with what I'm doing on Veve. But yeah, that sounds like a bubble, and it somewhat is, and especially the altcoins. You have to see, you don't want to fall in love with your altcoins, right? The goal is at somewhere at where we are really in a crazy altcoin season. The goal is to let go of all of your altcoins at some point. Yeah, that is the goal. You really have to see that, in my opinion. We cannot fall in love with our altcoins, and don't give me the this project is going to be so revolutionary. The only altcoins that were really valuable to hold is Ethereum. Ethereum did very well, but even that dumped heavily in the bear market, right? From I don't know what 4,000 to somewhere at 1,000. Dumped 75% also, right? So yeah, no one in crypto really has any faith in the project. They invest in, they just have faith that someone, SAP, will pay more down the line. That's crypto, yeah. Exactly, Mark D. Adrian says, I agree, stock markets is even a bigger bubble. Everything is currently overextended compared to the global economic situation. This is how it is. We must play with knowing the rules. Yeah, and you have to see, it's not about all the markets, it's not about the underlying value most of the time. It's about global liquidity, if it goes in or out, and how much you can absorb of that, right? So really, we have to get cold and unemotional and just see it as it is. And the projects that you mentioned, they are good, but it doesn't mean that the token is going to appreciate in value because of that, because it's not a reflection that there are projects that are super good, but the token is just useless to the project. So and still the narrative will drive the token, but you don't want to end up with the token. You want to have the cash, and if you like the project, you can use the project, right? And that is something where you have to say, okay, if we really like it, then we have to use it also, right? How many of the altcoins that you have, you really use the project? You're actually just looking what they're doing and that they are doing well, and because this will drive the narrative, and the narrative will drive the price. So don't fall in love with the altcoins and be in before retail. Be that guy, right? And then if you didn't fall in love with the altcoin, then you will be able to separate yourself from it and turn your bag into a moon bag as soon as possible, right? What do I mean by moon bag? Is you bought and you dump, or you put $100 into a coin goes up 500%. Take the $100 out, because if the coin goes to zero, you didn't lose anything. It's just free money. Even if it dumps after you miss the point, if it dumps 50%, you still have that as an extra profit, right? So why not do it? I mean, you don't have to do that with every coin, right? But some coins are so risky. You put in some money, you did well, 200%, 1000%. Why not take out that money and use it for another project? Double, triple, quadruple your money. Take $100 out and you have a free moon bag, right? Risk goes down. Adrian says, thanks PH for the discussion. I must leave. Have a nice day. Greetings from Stuttgart. Greetings to Stuttgart. Let's go. Adrian, good to see you. And I just want to quickly show you some Veve news before we go. And that is this here. Okay, so here this guy is a UFC fighter. And apparently he likes Veve, right? Someone else has posted his account. I think he has like 600 collectibles or so. So this guy is bullish on Veve, yeah? Sounds good. So the fam is already chiming in. And yeah, I think he got a ton of new followers here. But it's good to see, right? There are some celebrities having fun with the project. Yeah. So that is really good. What's the name of the guy? Josh Emmett. Let's follow him. Let's go. Yeah. Other than that, Veve is. Let's see if there are new winners of the thing quickly. Oh yeah, 12 days of Veve. Did I win? No, I'm not in here, but we have some winners here. Pollux has won a giant size X-Men 1 UR. That's actually quite good of a win. We have Stevo getting the Year of the Red SR. That's not so amazing. Vechain SR, Boba Fett UR. That's okay. Professor X UR. That is the Yoda picture with the Santa Claus Yoda. The Hunter, Crystal Lord, and Veve logo white orange UR. That's also good. But overall, yeah, congratulations if you are one of those guys. They won the second day. There are still 10 more days of things where we can win something. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's good. I think it gets a lot of attention. These things. Yeah. Then tomorrow we are getting the comic with the crafting event. That is important. And if you're going to DesignerCon, where Veve is not with a booth, but Jermaine Rogers is giving freebies to everyone who holds his collectibles here. So that is also good. Nirujan says, good night, hit that button. Yep, absolutely. Alexander Crypto says, veveverse phase 2 seems like it's gonna be postponed again. Yeah, 100%. That's what we're getting used to right now, right? Then I think yesterday we had this drop. I don't know, or no, actually it's today. We have this drop today, the James Bond one. So all the James Bond fans are getting stuff for $20. And yeah, that's basically it, I think, for Veve right now. We'll make it short and sweet. Thank you everyone for joining. Make sure to smash up the like button. It was a really nice discussion today. Thank you all for participating. Yeah, and subscribe to the channel, tick the little bell to always get notified. And guys, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I see you tomorrow at Crypto Morning Coffee or in the next